Gibraltar. Gibraltar, British overseas territory occupying a narrow peninsula of Spain's southern Mediterranean coast just northeast of the Strait of Gibraltar on the east side of the Bay of Gibraltar and directly south of the Spanish city of La Linea. It is 3 miles long and 0.75 miles wide and is connected to Spain by a low semi-isthmus that is 1 mile long. Its name is derived from Arabic Gibraltar, honoring Tarq ibn Ziyad, who captured the peninsula in 701. Gibraltar is a heavily fortified British air and naval base that guards the Strait of Gibraltar, which is the only entrance to the Mediterranean Sea from the Atlantic Ocean. Since the 18th century, Gibraltar has been a symbol of British naval strength, and it is commonly known in that context as the Rock. The Rock of Gibraltar is considered one of the 2 pillars of Heracles. The other has been identified as one of 2 peaks in northern Africa, Mount Hacho near the city of Ceuta or Jebel Moussa in Morocco. The pillars, which according to Homer were created when Heracles broke the mountain that had connected Africa and Europe, define the western limits of navigation for the ancient Mediterranean worlds. Land. The peninsula consists of a limestone and shale ridge which rises abruptly from the isthmus to 1,380 feet at Rock Gun, its northernmost summit. Its highest point, 1,396 feet, is attained near its southern end. The rock shelves down to the sea at Great Europa Point, which faces Ceuta. From the Mediterranean Sea, Gibraltar appears as a series of sheer, inaccessible cliffs fronting the sea on the peninsula's east coast. The rock slope is more gradual on its western side and is occupied by tier upon tier of houses that stretch for some 300 feet above the old defensive walls. Higher up, limestone cliffs almost isolate the upper rock, which is covered with a tangle of wild trees. Gibraltar has no springs or rivers. An area of sand slopes above Catalan and sandy bays has been sheeted over to provide a rain catchment area, which was once the sole source of potable water for Gibraltar. The water was stored in a number of tanks blasted into the rock. The rainwater was then blended with water pumped from wells on the isthmus or distilled from the sea. The catchment ceased to be used as a source of potable water in the 1990s when a desalination plant built in the 1980s was expanded, but it still is used as a service reservoir. Culture name: Gibraltarian. Symbolism: Gibraltarians share a strong sense of unity that is expressed in several cultural symbols, traditional housing arrangements, a common school system, and the Unido language. A fervent interest in beauty contests is an expression of national identity. Since the early 1990s, much energy has been invested in the creation of national symbolism. The anthem and flag. National Day is celebrated on 10 September to commemorate the pro-British referendum of 1967. The most powerful symbol is the rock itself, which possesses symbolic meaning in British imperial iconography and is linked to the fortress mentality of Gibraltarians. Like the rock, the apes of Gibraltar are symbols of British permanence and solidity. Food and economy. Food in daily life. Food is a British Mediterranean mixture with strong roots in Spanish, Italian, English, and Jewish cuisine. There are no general food taboos within the different religious groups. Food customs at ceremonial occasions. Calentita, a chickpea pie of Genos origin, is the national dish. Basic economy. Until recently, the local economy depended on the military economy and smuggling mainly of tobacco. In the 1980s and early 1990s, the economy underwent a heavy transformation and now is based on tourism, the harbor and shipping facilities, and the financial offshore sector. The principal exports are petroleum and manufactured goods. The major trading partners are the United Kingdom, Morocco, Portugal, the Netherlands, Spain, the United States, and Germany. The national currency is the Gibraltar pound. Major industries. Gibraltar is home to the light manufacturing of tobacco, roasted coffee, ice, mineral waters, candy, beer, and canned fish. Tourism, banking, and finance and construction form the larger areas of manufacture, with Gibraltar's main source of industry its support of large UK naval and air bases. Division of labor. After the border was closed in 1969, blue-collar jobs were filled by Moroccan migrant workers who replaced the Spanish workforce. Today, many Spaniards work on the rock as shop assistants or cleaning women. Gibraltarians work mainly in the service sector. About 50% of young Gibraltarians obtain their education in British universities. People. About 4/5 of the population are Gibraltarians, which includes those born in Gibraltar before 1925 and their descendants, as well as the spouses of Gibraltarians. The remainder are resident aliens and the families of British military personnel. Most Gibraltarians are of mixed genus British, Spanish, Maltese, and Portuguese descent. Moroccans and Indians predominate among the resident aliens. About 4/5 of Gibraltarians are Roman Catholic. The Anglican bishopric also covers communities in southern Europe, mainly in Spain's Costa del Sol. The small Jewish community is of Sephardic descent. English is the official language of government and education, though most Gibraltarians are bilingual in English and Spanish, and many speak an English dialect known as Anido, which is influenced by Spanish Genos and Hebrew. Social welfare. Only citizens are entitled to social welfare. This policy excludes Spanish, Moroccan, and Indian workers. To counter the effects of the military cutback, conversion programs partly financed by the European Union have been instituted. Marriages usually are not arranged. People marry young around age 20 and often divorce young. Increasingly within the Jewish community and decreasingly within the Hindu community, there is a trend toward arranged marriages. Higher education. Higher education is an avenue for upward mobility. An extensive grant system allows about 50% of high school graduates to study in British universities. Religious beliefs. The population consists of Catholics 77%, Church of England Protestants 7%, Muslims 7%, other Christians 3%, Jews 2%, and Hindus 2%. Religious practitioners. All the religious groups have seen a struggle for power and control between traditional and orthodox forces. The authority of the Catholic Church, led by a locally born bishop, is strong. There are 4 synagogues and 1 rabbi. Although a Hindu temple was built in 1995, there are no locally based full-time Hindu specialists. The influence of an esoteric guru Sri Swachityananda is especially strong, but there are also followers of the Red Hasomi movement. Rituals and holy places. The rock itself is ascribed spiritual power by Gibraltarians of all religions. The typical Iberian Catholic celebrations are largely absent. Most holy sites for the Jewish community are located in nearby Morocco. Medicine and health care. Gibraltar has 1 civilian hospital. Most health care practitioners have a British degree. Historically, a hospital was organized along religious lines with Catholic, Protestant, and Jewish wards. Secular celebrations. The most important celebrations are Commonwealth Day, the second Monday in March. Constitution Day on 30 May commemorates the Constitution of 1969, and National Day on 9 October celebrates the pro-British referendum in 1967.